All right then, ladies and gentlemen, we say hello and welcome to today's guest, Jan Pickett. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Martin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us about yourself and how you became interested in calligraphy.
Well, I've always been in the world of art right from a teenager. I trained in graphic design, that was in Wales, and part of that course was typography, and I did a lot of illustration work as well. So, letters drawn with a pen were a natural progression, and that's been my life all the way through, and I hope it always continues to be so.
Okay, how does your creative process looks like? Where do you get inspiration from when you start with a work?
But it's never necessarily the same thing twice. I like to sit down at a drawing board and doodle. Doesn't matter what time of the day or night. It's a sheer pleasure to do that. And then one thing leads to another. I might have looked at books. I might have looked at all sorts. Nature. I mean, there is nothing original. So I think we're just soaking up information the whole time we're going around our daily lives. So inspiration is really an idea which is adapted to fit a problem. So you just carry on and aim for the best until you're happy with an idea that's worth developing.
Okay, so you get from everywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. But most of all, just sitting down and playing with a pen or a brush.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then, what do you think are the best artistic messages and emotions to express with calligraphy?
Well, love comes to mind, I have to say. So, I mean, all the emotions you can think of can in some way be expressed in calligraphy because you can change the lettering to suit the mood. I mean, the classic lettering, that's Gothic.
Yes.
That is the one most people think of as calligraphic, but it can literally be a modern style. That's very much more modern.
Yes.
If I had a message that I wanted to shout at you saying no, I wouldn't choose lettering like that.
No.
I would like that. So you
Yes.
see, I can adapt most letters to fit the emotion, which is a great thing, which is more than typography can claim to do, you see.
Yes. But isn't there a sort of conflict that the more you put into the letters with decoration and things like that, the more difficult it is to get straight into the brain?
Well, I think you've got to, again, play with the word. Simplicity is the best answer. And I think you have to really take care that the lettering you're choosing is conveying the emotion that you are working on. So it's a question of choice and being, confident that that's going to fit the bill.
Yes.
Doesn't always work, but you try hard to make it fit the bill.
So there are no limits. It's.
I don't think so. I think this is a constant battle between hand-drawn lettering and typography, and I think we come out on top. She says, crossing fingers.
Yes. Now, my personal impression have been that it's that calligraphy works best when it's set to communicate this historic association. But if you, how would you imagine, modern typeface that would communicate a modern feeling that would not be like this sans serif or Bauhaus typeface? Could you do something different?
You can. I mean, basically, you try to keep to the historical models, although lettering changes all the time and it grows and it adapts to modern words. But I think you just have to, again, as I said before, keep it simple. The word calligraphy it comes from Calli and graphos, and it literally means beautiful writing. So I think as long as you are trying to convey that beauty, but whether it be simplicity and sans serif forms or the more decorative forms, I think that's something you have to judge on whatever work you're currently involved with. So there's no one answer to that, really.
Do you see any future trends develop in this art form? Any popular things that's been...
I mean, and Bauhaus covers all the major arts, and it's a wonderful conception of that, of bringing together everything. But I think, again, lettering is developing all the time, but I don't see any group trends. There are lots of individuals pushing the boundaries, but I wouldn't say there was any one major art movement moving forward. There are two, in the world, there are two major societies which most people who are working with calligraphy are belonging to. And you can see lots of trends there, but again, they tend to be on an individual basis.
Yes.
This is the beauty of calligraphy. I mean, it can convey a modern feeling or an historical feeling. I mean, I use it sometimes. I do a lot of work with historical, updating books. I use heraldry in my work. Other times, it'll be something completely modern. And that, to me, is the attraction, because it is such a wide-ranging art form.
Yes. Well, that was all of the questions I had. We say thank you then to today's guest, Jan Pickett. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
I'm say thank you to you for inviting me. I'm going to say long live calligraphy. Wonderful news about YouTube, and if I can just say thank you, Martin, very, very much indeed.
Yes. You don't want to say anything about typeface? Typography?
Yes, I mean, I love typography as well, but if I had to say which I like the better of the two, I would say the calligraphy. But many, many famous typographers have designed typographic faces, and they work with calligraphy as well. So the two are very much in conjunction with each other. They're married together. Yes. And may it be a long and happy marriage.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. It was a privilege.